Hi, I'm Melissa from SoGoSurvey. If you're not in favor of customer engagement, I really don't know what to tell you. This conversation might not be for you. But if you're into it, you know it's a big deal and a good thing. Let's talk about a few ways you can improve customer engagement, share the goodwill, and improve your communication along the way. Let's take a look. One of the things we know for sure is that good communication can definitely help to improve customer engagement. And you can make the most of all of your customer communications if you spend a little bit of time thinking through a few steps that we'll look at here today. We know that communication is a path, not event. Great quote. And it's something that we need to keep in mind. It's not just a one-off. It's something that we want to make sure is a continual stream that leads to our engagement, creating a dialogue, building relationships, fostering brand growth, encouraging loyalty. There are so many benefits from communication, so many benefits from engagement, and one definitely leads to the other. However, does communication really build loyalty? I would say yes. There's generally a good opportunity here, but there's often room for improvement. So taking a look at how your communications with your customer are structured, planned, strategized can make a huge difference. So here's one place to start. Item 1, know what makes you unique. So what's your unique selling point or proposition? If you cannot articulate what's unique about you, what's special about you, that's probably not going to come across in your communication either. And so that's a really good place to start. When you want something, you need to be able to ask, and that's something that's really important. There shouldn't feel like there's any sort of trick going along or a tit for tat. If you do this, then we'll do that. Most businesses want to be seen as honest and transparent, and rightly so. This is a really solid foundation for good business model moving forward. Trust is a big deal, and it's hard to, it can be easier to earn than it is to earn back. Let's just put it that way. So if you are asking for someone's opinion, make sure you give them the facts. We see this in surveys a lot of times. People ask their participants to give an opinion, and they're not well informed, so it's not really a very useful or helpful opinion. And if you want people to be making a purchase, of course, terms of service, all of those items up front. Bottom line, up front. Keep your points clear and simple. We know clarity is one of the most important elements of communication. Simplicity leads to clarity, comes across as authenticity. It's the real you, getting right to the point with all of this other flowery kind of conversation around it. We know that marketing, sales, we have a lot of kind of buzzwords and things that we like to throw around, but making sure that we're getting to the point is what's most important in that clear and effective communication. If you are sending out convoluted messages, you're wasting your time and you're wasting your customers. Master storytelling. We all know people who are great storytellers, and we love to hear from them. We love to get those calls that say, hey, let me tell you what's going on. And customers have that positive connection as well with brands they connect with emotionally. That's a long-lasting kind of relationship built on that, the emotional appeal sometimes, or something interesting that somebody's being told, so something of value. Stories are a really great way to, obviously personify your company, have real people, just like I'm a real person connecting with you, for example. You might have even a small business, but you might have a gigantic business. People want to know that there's a face that they can talk to, someone they know, someone they can connect with, not just sort of the faceless corporation. Consistency is always a big one, right up there with clarity. Pay attention to all of these kinds of things. If your product has, specific branding, specific color scheme, same as your website, make sure that everything else that you're sending out has that same scheme, has a style guide, has that consistency, no matter what channel we're looking at or what kind of communication. Again, the right communication channel makes a huge deal, makes a huge difference. Match the medium. If it's an emergency, of course, a text or something like this, but calling directly, make sure that you're thinking about the kinds of communication that you're using with your participants. Your customers, it's a really important question to ask early on in your relationship. How do you prefer to be contacted? What do you like to hear about from us? Visuals, of course, are a good one. Don't need to tell you that we have shorter attention spans. Probably are already like, are we done here yet? And it's a very short video here, very short conversation. Even 5 minutes can sometimes seem long. So making sure they're getting right to the point as quickly as possible. Again, that involves that consistency, visual style, typography, style guide, etc. Next, personalizing your engagement. Again, this goes back to that emotional appeal. Somebody feels like they're connected to you as an organization. personally as an individual, not just a number. So this is often benefited by speaking to customers' values and ideals. Security is our shared value. For example, quality is our shared value. So we have 4 of those that we talk about here, and it's something that we use consistently in our materials as well to let people know we're on the same page. Again, marketing less, educating more. You cannot just stand up and sell. I mean, some people can, of course, too, but we need to make sure that we're delivering useful information. Rather than just coming out and saying, here, you need to buy this thing, I want to be able to share something with you, useful. Thought leadership, of course, is the thing that we always like to think about, but even advice or best practices, well placed, can really help build that relationship. We know the more you give, the more you receive, and customer engagement is an extremely positive thing to be able to work on. It's going to help with your bottom line. It's going to help with loyalty, and a lot of those pieces start with your communications. If you have any other thoughts about how you're building customer engagement through your communication, we'd love to hear from you. So drop us a note, and we'll be glad to continue the conversation. Thanks so much for joining. Look forward to seeing you again soon. In the meantime, connect with us on social media at SoGoSurvey or visit our website, SoGoSurvey.com. See you next time.